Hey everybody, it's Anna. Time for the Thursday card in this week's tarot story. So today we have the Four of Wands. So the number 4 connects to stability and having a firm foundation on which to build. And as I mentioned for the Tuesday card, wands are connected to passion and inspiration. So the image seems to be reminiscent of a chuppah, which is traditionally used in the case of a wedding. So basically this is getting ready for a wedding ceremony. So we think about a wedding. Basically it's a social engagement where, a couple is coming together and they have their friends and family gather around them and offer them support, kind of giving them a foundation on which to begin their lives together. And that's exactly what I think this card calls us to. It's to recognize, to stabilize ourselves on the fact that people are on our side. They see us, they're supporting us, they're giving us advice and resource and strengthening us, giving us a firm foundation. And that's important, especially when it comes to wands, because wands is about following your passion, being inspired. And as I mentioned on the Tuesday card, the challenge of being a creative or an innovator is that you are so self-focused because your compass is inside of yourself. You're internally motivated, right? And so it's easy to lose track of the fact that you have a cheering section. You have people who see what you're doing, who are excited for it. Maybe they don't know how you're going to do it. Because they don't have the compass. They don't really know how it's going to work out, but they believe in you. They're excited for you. And they're there to stabilize you. So this is the point at which, you recognize and you let yourself be supported and stabilized by other people. And as the reason it's the 4, right? If you look at the trajectory, each step has a point, right? This is the point where you either stabilize or you don't. If you don't stabilize, if you don't let yourself be supported and you don't let yourself kind of relax into being loved and cared for, then the passion, following your passion without that makes it kind of erratic, it doesn't have foundation, so it'll fall apart. So even though we're doing something from an internal place, right, we are still engaging the world around us. And this is the challenge of this card is, do you realize that you're loved? Do you realize you're supported? Do you realize you got people on your side? And will you lean in that? Will you let these people, we don't want to, in the marriage analogy, we don't want to run off and elope by ourselves. We want the prayers of our family. We want the prayers of our community. We want their advice and their experience, all of the great things that come with being loved. We want all that nurture, and we need that as well here. I also think it's interesting because the Tuesday card was the 9 of Wands, which is just before we cross the finish line. We're a little bit tired, a little bit exhausted. We poured everything into this project, and now we're maybe doubting ourselves a little, because that can happen when you're exhausted, when you're tired, when you're at the end of something and you start contemplating it. It's the time where you can get a little doubtful. But I think kind of reaching back into the 4 moment, remembering the people who've cheered you on, who were excited for you, who believed in you, it gives you more permission to believe in yourself, right? And so consider that. Consider here at the end of this great victory, who are the people who were cheering you on? What are the voices in your head that encouraged you, that told you you had it, you were going to figure it out, who stood by you? Lean into that. Let yourself be nurtured by that. It's also connected, I think, to yesterday's card, which is the Queen of Pentacles. We need to have this. The story needs an ending that supports our walk of faith, supports our investment of time and energy. If we don't tell the story in a way that supports what we did, the mind is less likely to agree to do it again. And that's what happens. You finish one piece of work, you start a new piece of work. We want the mind to tell the story in such a way that it recognizes we are loved, we are supported, it's stabilized in that truth. And so it's ready to try to take on another piece of passion project. That's today's card. See you tomorrow for our next one. Bye.